Good morning, my name is Josh from Cyclones Oz, and here is your detailed weather forecast update for Wednesday, the 17th of December 2025. It is a story dominated by low pressure and thunderstorm activity, including for Queensland, where scattered thunderstorms are forecast to continue, heavy rainfall piling up into the north, and a major rainfall event developing around Christmas. We've also got two tropical areas of interest, including one strong cyclone well offshore from Western Australia. All the details plus more coming up in today's weather forecast update. If you are brand new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. But let's get stuck straight into things with the Queensland story right now. It's a very cloudy, low pressure dominated picture, and that is driven by a lot of thunderstorms and a bit of moisture coming in from the north over in the Coral Sea up here. We've had a couple of 100 millimetres fall overnight around Tully and Innisfail through far northern Queensland, and scattered thunderstorm activity is forecast to be the main story throughout the course of today, with some potentially severe, if not dangerous, thunderstorms with destructive wind gusts and large to potentially very large hailstones into southwestern Queensland this afternoon and this evening. The good news is for southeastern Queensland, the picture is remaining a little bit dry. We still have a bit of shower activity coming through around the Sunshine Coast, but that's going to ease off throughout the course of this morning, and shower and thunderstorm activity will then begin to build up into the northern parts of the Capricornia coastline, into parts of the Whitsundays. The shower and thunderstorm activity through the Cape York Peninsula will continue throughout the course of today, and that's all going to feed in. All of this moisture will feed in towards central and western Queensland, promoting thunderstorm activity with, like I said, some potentially severe thunderstorm activity out into the southwest of Queensland. Definitely could be a bit of a stormy day and a stormy afternoon out there. And this is the picture that is going to continue. You can see showers and thunderstorms are going to be very widespread through Thursday as well. We're expecting a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity, particularly around the Northern Territory and Queensland border, before that low pressure system begins to get itself churning across the Northern Territory by Friday. And what this is going to do is promote elevated thunderstorm chances across the Northern Territory and Western Australia as this broad area of low pressure really does begin to ramp up. And this is where the forecast becomes so much more interesting. This is the start of our major Christmas rainfall event, and we're expecting a couple of 100 millimetres through a wide swathe of Queensland, including Rockhampton, Townsville, Mackay, all at the risk of a couple of 100 millimetres. Brisbane right now a bit of a wild card, but we could still be seeing some heavy rainfall around the Brisbane area as well, just after Christmas Day. So let's talk about this low pressure system right now. Ramping up through Friday, you can see very slowly getting stacked together, promoting thunderstorm activity left, right and centre through Saturday and Sunday, and then this area of low pressure sinking down into the Northern Territory, drawing in a lot of moisture through the northern parts of the Coral Sea, and you can see just a broad area of shower and thunderstorm activity similar to what we've been tracking since Friday through Saturday and Sunday through the Northern Territory. Now, 3 or 4 days of rainfall is going to leave up to 200 millimetres in the gauges through much of the Northern Territory, and this is also going to begin to really spike into northwestern Queensland here towards the west of Columbus. We're talking Mornington Island, Georgetown, Croydon, I believe Burketown is up here as well, and then shower and thunderstorm activity making it beyond Mount Isa, down through Bedore, down towards Birdsville along the Queensland-South Australia border, and thunderstorm and shower activity also making it as far south as Alice Springs into the southern parts of the NT as well. Again, a couple of 100 millimetres possible in these coastal areas, and up to 50 millimetres possible into more interior parts of the Northern Territory and Queensland. And this shower and thunderstorm activity is then by Monday and Tuesday expected to slide into Queensland. We're going to begin to see a trail of rainfall developing along this line here. It's not expected to be anything too heavy at this point in time, but 50 to 100 millimetres over the course of 3 days is possible towards the south of Mount Isa and Longreach. We're talking southwestern Queensland, areas that were badly impacted by flooding earlier on in this year. Now, this is a concerning aspect of the forecast. If we see spiked rainfall accumulations into this part of southwestern Queensland, we'll be talking about a significant contribution again of water down towards the Lake Eyre region. At this time of year, that's not a massive concern on the flooding perspective for South Australia, because a lot of it will evaporate before it gets there, but we could be talking about some significant rainfall into southwestern Queensland that may cause river levels to rise dramatically once again. And keep in mind, these catchments take years to properly dry out, so a couple of 100 millimetres onto very soggy ground out here would be a problem, particularly at this time of the year as we head in towards our wettest months. This rainfall is agonisingly slow moving, and through Tuesday and Wednesday it's going to begin to slide in towards Queensland, and then the forecast starts to become a little bit more uncertain. But for Queensland, this is going to be where the rainfall really does begin to pick up before Christmas time, so we're talking Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and even by extension Christmas Day. Now, the rainfall's going to be pretty hit or miss. It's going to be sliding in a pretty steady capacity. We're not expecting torrential rainfall at this point in time, so just scattered shower and thunderstorm activity in the lead up to Christmas. But once that low pressure system does actually slide into Queensland, which would happen around Christmas Day at this point in time, we're going to begin to see a lot of this moisture get concentrated into this low pressure system coming in here off the Coral Sea, and this is where coastal convergent zones are expected to develop, and these are very important to the forecast. Now, convergent zones are a nightmare, and they're a headache for long range weather forecasting, because it makes it impossible to predict how much rainfall is going to fall for any one location during during a certain period of time. Basically what a convergence zone is, you can think of a line here. It's where winds converge from different elevations and from different directions, and the converging winds causes moisture to rise up and condense and form clouds, and that's where we see these trains of heavy rainfall moving into these coastal areas. A good example was last night on the far north Queensland coastline and the night before on the Sunshine Coast. Both of those were examples of converging winds that resulted in significant rainfall through a few locations, and that is what we're expecting to develop across Queensland as we get out towards Boxing Day, the 27th and the 28th. And this is what's going to cause 2 or 3 day periods of heavy to locally intense rainfall. And you can see the bulk of the rainfall now coming on the back end of the forecast modelling here, which does again make it even more unreliable out towards the 28th or the 29th of November. So this is definitely a bit of a period to watch, but if we do see coastal convergence zones, we're going to be talking about some very significant rainfall accumulations as a result. So what I would just like to say and leave you with this is that for any one location right now, it's very difficult to accurately predict how much rainfall is going to come through, but we can make some guesses now. This is a look at 10-day rainfall accumulations between the 20th out to the 30th of December now, including Christmas, and keep in mind the bulk of this rainfall, especially for central and coastal Queensland, is going to come after the 25th. So this is actually for the most part rainfall accumulations between the 25th out to the 30th of December for a lot of these places. Starting off in the west, rainfall pouring in from the Gulf of Carpentaria is going to leave up to 200 to maybe even 250 millimetres in the rain gauges as far south as Badori in central western Queensland, or in southwestern Queensland I should say. Rainfall will then begin to slide over towards central Queensland, and this is going to begin to meet up with moisture coming in from the Coral Sea. And whilst we start off with rainfall accumulations between the 20th to the 25th of December with between 30 to 100 millimetres on the forecast, this will then significantly increase to 100 to 200 millimetre prospects with isolated falls to 300 millimetres possible after Christmas Day out to the 30th or the 31st of December. The heaviest rainfall accumulations right now I would expect to be around northern Queensland here, so we're talking Hinchbrook National Park, Townsville, Mackay, Bowen and the Whitsundays. However, we are also seeing signals that heavy rainfall could develop further south in towards the St. Lawrence and the Serena area into the northern parts of the Cassowary Coast. So I do believe that in this larger oblong shape here between Cairns down to about Rockhampton is where the heaviest rainfall is going to occur from a combination of this low pressure system and converging rainfall coming in from the Coral Sea. Rainfall accumulations could amount to 300 millimetres for a wide swathe of locations here. In a few places we may be talking about rainfall accumulations knocking on the 500 millimetre door, which will cause some flooding, and that is quite a concerning number. Apart from that, falls between 150 to 250 millimetres are generally expected north of this line here, extending from Badori in southwestern Queensland across to Hervey Bay along the northern side of the Sunshine Coast and into the Fraser Coast. This means southern Queensland, including Roma, Toowoomba, Ipswich, Brisbane, the Gold Coast and much of the Sunshine Coast as well, is not expecting too much in the way of rainfall, and unless this weather system does slide unusually further south, we're not talking about significant rainfall in southeastern Queensland. And I do believe Brisbane, the Gold Coast and northeastern New South Wales will remain comparatively a lot drier through this Christmas period, with only about 50 millimetres on the prospects for those locations at this point in time. Again, things can and most likely will change. Right now, there is a prospect of flooding, and it is beginning to get quite concerning. I was speaking from Charlie from Central Queensland Weather Watch yesterday, and he reckons that 300 millimetres will be that kind of cutoff for some significant flooding, and I have to say I do agree with him. Or significant flooding prospects is what we're kind of talking about in regards to our number there for flooding, and that is a possibility now, particularly towards the north and the west of Rockhampton in this area here through parts of the lower Burdekin catchment. That would be quite a concern. It's definitely a factor that we need to be keeping close tabs on right now. Significant rainfall is now definitely a possibility, and again, considering the mountainous locations around Mackay, especially inland from Ogmore and St. Lawrence, you're beginning to see the forecast model spit out numbers closer to 600 millimetres here. That would definitely cause some flooding problems, particularly because it'd be coming in about a 3 or 4 day period. Other forecast models are now really beginning to come on board with this. The GFS especially is now calling for coastal rainfall, and the GFS will continue to uptick in this rainfall accumulation estimate, I would imagine, particularly if it does have a tropical low developing. We'd likely be seeing some very significant upticks in rainfall here. So to see the GFS come on board aligns with our longer range forecast a couple of days ago, and it is a good thing to see. It definitely makes this forecast a lot more kind of ironclad and a lot more certain. So just to recap on this, rainfall coming after Christmas right now, but we will still see some heavy falls before Christmas, but they will be more sporadic and hit or miss in nature. Let's talk about severe thunderstorms, because the good thing about this rainfall is it kind of curbs off those severe thunderstorm chances in southeastern Queensland. Now I'm going to get my geography all confused up. So throughout the course of this week, because of that southeasterly flow, it's too cold for thunderstorms to develop throughout the Brisbane and the Gold Coast area, and as such, it's going to be a storm-free end of the week. By this weekend, if we're going based off precedents, we should see thunderstorms beginning to return, and Saturday does bring a remote chance of thunderstorm activity to the northeast of New South Wales, and maybe one or two scattered thunderstorms as well around southeastern Queensland through parts of the Warwick and the Toowoomba area, but I wouldn't really be getting my hopes up for anything too significant. It's a really weak chance of thunderstorms right now. Sunday, it calms off a little bit. Monday is also looking to be a little bit calmer, and then Tuesday we begin to see a bit of an uptick in convective available potential energy, but the forecast modelling this far out is notoriously unreliable, and it is going to be dominated by cloud from this low pressure system beginning to be sent down into southeastern Queensland, and I do believe cloud-filled skies as we get out to Tuesday onwards is going to curb off storm chances and severe thunderstorm chances from that point onwards. And what this means here is unless thunderstorms can develop in a significant capacity on Saturday, the chance of severe thunderstorms throughout the remainder of 2025 is very, very minimal at this point in time, just considering the fact that the cloud coverage from this low pressure system should completely curb off severe thunderstorm chances and prevent ground heating from occurring, and as such we'll be seeing those chances for severe thunderstorms curbed off completely, as I've just mentioned. So Saturday is a day to watch, but I don't expect anything too crazy in the way of severe thunderstorm activity. If thunderstorms do develop, they'll be pretty weak in nature, and they're most likely to happen over the border into the northeast of New South Wales, but maybe one or two thunderstorms that could be strong in nature across parts of southeastern Queensland. Honestly, I'm pretty bummed out by that, because that means no more thunderstorm live coverage until 2026, and I do really enjoy providing the live streaming service, so we might do some live streaming services on this low pressure system as it begins to develop, and especially if you do see emergency warnings declared for floodings, we'll be going through that in an hour of live coverage or two, so stick around for that. But thunderstorm coverage is going to be done for 2025 by the looks of things, and just looking at the forecast right now, I see no reason as to why that is going to change unless this low pressure system completely busts out. Queensland is a big topic right now. We're going to have a lot more coverage on that, including another video later today, so make sure you are subscribed. Let's talk about New South Wales and Victoria, because we do have a couple of thunderstorm chances here, one rising on Friday in towards the central and the western parts of New South Wales, with the potential for severe thunderstorm activity in this outline here through remote parts of New South Wales, South Australia, and into northwestern Victoria around Mildura. A couple of severe thunderstorms are possible, and we also will see a couple of strong severe thunderstorms as well towards the west of Sydney, particularly around the northwest of Sydney, into parts of the Barrington Tops and the Highlands just towards the outside of Sydney. Saturday will bring an elevated risk of severe thunderstorms through parts of Victoria, and we will be seeing some strong thunderstorm activity in towards the western half of New South Wales. Sunday, as this cold front blows through, typically when we see cold front activity like this blow through New South Wales and Victoria this time of the year, ahead of it we see multiple severe thunderstorms develop, and Sunday morning is looking like a strong potential for severe thunderstorm activity into central Victoria, central New South Wales, and then it's going to carry out towards eastern parts of Victoria and New South Wales. Canberra could get smashed with some severe thunderstorm activity later on Saturday night, with damaging to locally destructive winds, heavy rainfall, and some large, potentially giant hailstones in the vicinity of Canberra as well, as this low pressure system then pulls out into the Tasman Sea. Conditions should then begin to calm off across southeastern Australia after about Monday or Tuesday. We'll see another low pressure system move through on Christmas Eve, and that should keep southeastern Australia cool and dry, or at least Tasmania and Victoria cool and dry through Christmas. Things will warm up through New South Wales and South Australia though, as the southeasterly winds begin to heat up over the desert regions, and that will likely spike temperatures into the high 30s around Christmas through much of New South Wales. Early 30s expected for Sydney, high 20s expected for much of Victoria, early 20s expected for Melbourne, high teens expected for Tasmania, and that will also go for Hobart as well. Let's talk about Western Australia, because we do have a couple of tropical cyclone areas of interest. We've got Tropical Cyclone Bakung, which is still a strong Category 2 system, and it's holding its own in a very unfavourable environment right now. A lot of wind shear coming out of the northeast, and that's really hampering the system's development. It's in a favourable environment, all things considered, but we are seeing a bit of development here over the last couple of radar frames, with some lightning developing at the storm centre, and it looks like it is trying to funnel out an eye, but the wind shear is really holding this system back, and this system here is still a Category 2 status as it draws very slowly towards the Cocos-Keeling Islands, but wind shear is really expected to pick up later today, and that should be the end of this system here. Tropical low 05U now giving it a red hot crack, developing some more convection, and it looks like it's got a red hot shot now, becoming a tropical cyclone. Over the next couple of days, this system is going to track south of the Cocos-Keeling Islands and Christmas Island, becoming a Category 3 strength system likely by early next week as it passes south of the Cocos-Keeling Islands and then heading out into the southwest Indian Ocean. All things considered, for what we call a fish storm, which is a storm that only impacts fish out in the ocean, it doesn't impact any land areas, it's going to be quite slow moving forward at a rate of about 200 kilometers a day, so it's not going to cover that much ground, and as such this system will have ample time in some reasonably favourable conditions to intensify quite significantly, and I'm not ruling out a severe tropical cyclone from this system here, potentially even a category 4 strength storm. A lot of moisture now beginning to pour in ahead of this tropical low through parts of the Northern Territory in Western Australia. It really is about to start ramping up here, and we're going to have a detailed update on this later today. Things are going to be fluctuating for Western Australia temperature wise. We've got a couple of days of cooler weather for parts of Western Australia. Temperatures will then rise in the run up towards Christmas, and as that tropical cyclone begins to build south of the Cocos-Keeling Islands and Christmas Island, the run up to Christmas is expected to be extremely warm. A top of 41 degrees now in the cards for Perth on Christmas Day. I knew it was going to be a hot one, but this kind of heat is going to be quite uncomfortable, so this is definitely going to be a feature worth keeping an eye on. For southwest and Western Australia, it's going to be very warm indeed. For parts of Western Australia, particularly into the Pilbara and the Kimberley region, it is going to be stifling hot, scorching hot. Things are not going to be much better over and towards the Northern Territory as well, with humid air piling in there. And as this low pressure system develops into the central parts of the Northern Territory around Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, moving in towards Queensland on Christmas Day, we're going to see temperatures a little bit cooler as a result, but that's going to keep all of the warm air over in Western Australia's neck of the woods, sandwiched between these two tropical cyclones, or two tropical areas of low pressure, one out here and one up here, and that's going to keep those temperatures sky high for WA and Christmas. Not looking forward to it. That is a little bit too hot for my liking. Anyways, that is going to do it for today's weather forecast update, a detailed pack one, and if you have enjoyed it, then please do consider leaving a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A massive thank you to the channel sponsors. Their names are on screen right now. Good night on the show without them, and as always, their support is massively appreciated. It's a busy time of the year for me, and our Christmas upload schedule is unchanged. Daily updates will continue throughout Christmas, especially considering it is a significant time of the year on the weather front. Again, if severe thunderstorm activity does develop, which it's not looking likely to develop, I will run live coverage on Christmas. Nothing changes just because of the day of the year, but don't worry, I will be spending plenty of time with friends and family throughout the Christmas period, so no stress about me, but a Merry Christmas as we enter the final days of 2025. Thank you for a special year, and I'll see you all later this afternoon. Goodbye.